All right, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, today we got absolutely murdered, destroyed, discombobulated, mutilated. So it all started off in pre-market where, things were going good at first. We were managing risk, keeping it tight. I believe we were down like 80 bucks. And then KZIA came along and I was asking for stock above $1. My wish was granted. Now, I will say something that I have to work on for tomorrow and moving forward is to be a little quicker at all times to pull up the stock that's moving on the scan. Nevertheless, we did pull this one up. We saw it around 11 or so. And I think there was two trades. We had a trade, the first initial trade, we bought early on a pullback. But I kind of knew I was being a little too jumpy. This is with starter size, just 80 shares, nothing that could really hurt me or anything like that. And then we took the second trade, which was the actual dip. It was either on this green candle or the second red candle here. And we had a nice trade, right? I think we had a nice trade. And then I'm like, yes, here we go. The last 2 days we could have done extremely well, but we're a little slow to size up. Today we're gonna size up into the second trade. So you could say I kind of like skipped the protocol just a little bit in terms of my game plan and rules. I like to go up gradually in size from starter to then mini to then a little bit bigger, then to a little bit bigger. And so I think maybe this is part of the issue that I had. And so into this, so right here, I'm in at 12.29, out at 96. The stock then goes, I think to 12, what time is this? 8:02. The stock then goes to 12.91. And I tried to buy a pullback aggressively at 12.30. And I looked back within a couple seconds and I got murdered here. And I didn't, it was good. I could have went up to 3,500 shares or 2,000 shares. I only went up to 600, which wasn't terrible for the jump here because my other share size in between here is 300. This should have been a 300 share position, but I jumped up one more. But again, it's not that bad. But nevertheless, it was a massive loss that you can see. I'm in at 31 and I'm out at 11. That is not what we want. So what was a slow pre-market for an hour, because I was here for an hour, just kind of, managing risk. We actually were green 300 on CLDI, which was a cheaper stock that came. I mean, this one was pretty decent in pre-market early, I'd say. However, I did miss one area. I don't know if it was here. Let's put on the show trades. Let me see. I missed one area here. It almost felt like I fell asleep a little bit, as in we're pulling back. You're kind of letting your guard down, and then you look back at the stock. I think it might have been over here, this candle. You look back at the stock, and it's like, whoa, we got up there very fast, very quickly. Or maybe it was over here on this green candle. It might have been this one. I think it was this one. I can't be too certain, but I think it was this one here from, let's see, 71 to 80. I don't know. It's hard. I can't even remember. I have to go back and watch the live stream. Anyhow, nevertheless, we went green 300 to flat. And by the way, we did the right thing on this stock, which was to go small and then increase our share size gradually. By the time I sized up, I was seeing some losing trades. So that's what really did it to us. We did build a good cushion, 300-400, but the trades with size is what took us to the depths on this one. But that was fair game. We only went back to flat, which is actually good risk management. We started with 3K, with 3K, 7K, and then we went up to like 15K or so. So that wasn't too bad. Into the open, well, we'll come back to this one for the open. We'll come back into the open. We kind of had a tough time trading it, but we'll come back. So going back to pre-market, we're now starting the day. I shut down the early live stream to take a break, to come back later. I ended up going to get breakfast in that moment, in that time, that hour time. And of course, there was a hot stock in Dang, what was the name of that ticker? Let's pull up the scan. I don't think I traded it. Did I trade it? BCTX? Was it BCTX? No, no, no. It was something else. I think it was some BMLG. No. Okay, I can't remember the name of that stock. Jeez. I think it started with a B. BMNR, not that one. Yeah, I'd have to check this. Did I have it on the watch list? Let me check the watch list in the chat room here. I want to find this. This stock came in pre-market. I basically wasn't here for the entire thing. So when I came back, coming into the open, I'm like, I'll just watch it into the open. BCTX. What was the name of this thing? KIDZ. I think I traded it. I want to say I traded it. Let's come back to the alert section here. NDRA that was yesterday. Well, I can't find it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever that stock was, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about here. But anyhows, we missed it, and from there we done. I think it was EVOK. Okay, there we go. Finally, EVOK. I don't know why I thought it had a B, but yeah, EVOK. Jeez, our memories, right, of these ticker symbols. EVOK. This one, is basically the hot one that I missed. I don't know how the price action was though. For me, the price action has to be specific. But anyhow, it was a nice move here, 200+%, and into the open where we tried, we did make about $400. We made about $400 going up into this uptrend, and I believe we lost money coming back later in the day in this area. So I saw a big push here, and I tried buying the dip on this green candle. I didn't even get a chance to check my share size. I was a little upset after the trade because, like, man, I didn't know I had 2,000 shares there. But anyhow, it's 2,000 shares for me on a normal time. A normal market would be fine, right? In these slower periods, I tend to start with smaller size. But this is nothing I've never seen before. We got up to 950. It pulled back to 920. I jumped in for the retest of like 30, 40, 50. It lingered there for a couple seconds and then flushed down to 9 and then 890. And I stopped out for a loss. Tried buying a little lower, and it just, it kind of popped up. And then, so if we're to zoom out here in terms of the setup, we're looking for that right here, that retest of highs, high of day, somewhere here, 980, I believe. Yeah, 988. So that was high of day. And, this push was pretty convincing, right? I mean, we had volume. You would think that even though it's at 1 p.m., I mean, how many stocks have we seen at 1 p.m., which have, given such a nice red to green here, good volume. We're thinking now we're in this zone here where we can then retest and retake the highs, which is why I took the trade at 20 and then took the trade again down at 9, thinking maybe the whole dollar would hold up. Nah, this thing just, gave this massive red candle here from 891 down to $8, and then it just kind of washed out. So, EVOK, we were up 400. We lost pretty big here in this spike. And could we have done better in this, opening period here? I think for what we did well. We used the small size, we were careful, and this stock did put us a good way in getting back to flat. I think we made about 600 to 700 from our 1K pre-market deficit. So we were down maybe 350, 450. And then, the losing trades came in. CLDI. I mean, a stock like this where I love these cheaper stocks around this range of like 150. I mean, I saw it here, halted up. We had some other stuff going on, so you're not going to get to see everything from the start. But this was pretty early in this move, right? Into the halt up. I trade the resumption, trade perfectly getting in, and didn't get any result. It did not bounce where it would usually bounce, so I sold. I got back in. I looked back, I lost 10 cents somehow on those two trades, which was a little disappointing. And at this point is where I started getting a little frustrated because I'm like, man, like these are some sweet, sweet trades here and not getting the results, right? It then pushed up to 30 and pulled back. And I believe I lost 400 here. You know, I had 3,000 shares, 3,000 plus shares for this cheaper stock and just got blazed. So this is the one that kind of did it for me, as in like the nail in the coffin for the day. It looks like it had a bigger sell off. I'm not sure if this was an offering or something else, but hopefully no one in the chat room got caught here because percentage wise, this is about a 40% drop here at the bottom without a bounce really. So hopefully no one got caught into that drop. But yeah, you know, it was a bit of a tough day. If we come back to the log, we're also KZIA we mentioned CLID. We can talk about SUGP and PROK. SUPG, SUGP rather, SUGP. Again, you know, another stock where we had an uptrend. Let's see, the show trades. We had a lot going on, so I don't know where I got involved. Doesn't look like yeah, so maybe this is a stock I should have been watching a little sooner, right? Because of all the other opportunities and action, I didn't really get much out of this one. No pre-market. Okay, some pre-market trades. Okay, I'm about to say. Although smaller size, not really much there. I'm surprised that I'm down 300. It looks like maybe we did have a little bit of size. So let's see. We had a couple of trades though. Okay, 5,000 shares in at 58, out at 54. So we took a loss there. So this is a resumption trade where we also took a loss. And then potential breakout here for the red to green over 170. I think we got one good trade here. 74 and 70, and then out at 76, 75. Not really great on the second position. And then 59.60. We stopped out at 56. So yeah, you know, some small losses there, and then the other one, PROK. I think pre-market yesterday, this one was pretty good. Was it yesterday? Let's see. We tried a starter position twice. I think this is the first stock we traded. We tried starter position twice. Didn't really get much out of it. Didn't love the price action, although it did continue afterwards. We might have been looking at another stock throughout some of this. And then into the open here is where we took the losses. Let's zoom out on the 5-minute here. Show the 5-minute chart some love. So I think it started off pretty well. Let's see. Low of this candlestick was 577. We took 80. We took 83, really small size. Our first trade, getting our feet wet, but it was a great trade. We came out at 603 average, and there was a high of 630. So even on this trade, we kind of came out a little early, but this is a great dip. Shout out to Zay, by the way. Zay, I saw Zay caught this one. Zay, nice trade on this one as well here. Let's see. After that, 15 to about 26. You know, not bad there. And then we tried to break up the $0.50 only for 5 cents, it looks like. Let's see, in at 50, out at 55. And then we took, let's see, so it looks like we took a loss in the second half. Okay, and this trade right here, I put an order out to sell another 1,000 shares at 60 or 59, 58, somewhere there. It didn't get filled. It drops back to 50 at my you know, my entry, my cost basis, and then just evaporates. So it's a little disappointing to take the loss on this second half of the position here. A little frustrating there. We should have been out a little more above 55 right there. So that was a little disappointing. I mean, we should have gotten filled really the way how the ask price was pushing up. Right here, opportunity is going to cost, right? I remember we did look away. We missed this dip, and the stock did curl back up. You know, maybe should have locked in a little bit more on just this one in this time. But you know, sometimes resumptions are happening, things like that. You try to get a quick piece of the pie of another one, and you can come back, and you know, stock is gone. Train has left the station. The flight, they closed the gate at TSA. You missed the flight, and then everything in here was backside. Not worth it. Tried trading the pullbacks, and ended up going red on this one. So that wasn't good. That was PROK. You know, that was pretty much the day. Like we had action, but you know, I found myself red 1K pre-market. Okay, we made back about 600. We're down 400 at that point, and I'm like, hey, the key right now is to keep building slowly and not take any big losses. And with just moderate size, literally the next two trades, like boom, boom, we lose like 500 in two trades, and then from there, you know, we weren't able to recover. We had some resumption trades go south, and coming back, you know, I wouldn't. So in terms of over trading, do I want to say that I over traded today? We had the last stock that I traded was EVOK, and that was again in this area. I was at a max loss in my account. Mentally, I do feel fine even now. And so when I saw this thing curling up here, I'm like, man, you know, this looks so good. But did I have any intentions of revenge trading? The answer is no, or let's say over trading. Instead, I saw a good setup right here, thinking, man, we cleared some key levels here. This thing stands a good chance at making new highs and continuing, right? Instead, it's like, man, why did I come back? Why did I come back right here? Lost an extra 300 on this trade, right? So is it over trading? I guess on one hand, you can say, hey, you hit a max loss, you got to leave. So it is over trading. On the other hand, mentally, it's like, I'm here, but I still feel okay, and there's a good looking setup. If you're new, it is over trading without a doubt, right? If you're new in your career, I think. And for this, you know, rough patch that I'm in, maybe it is over trading, but again, you know, this thing could have easily went. And it's not wishful thinking, it's just what the volume and the pattern was saying at the time. We didn't have high of day volume, but you know, volume was coming in, and we were looking to see if this thing couldn't, you know, make the new high and continue. But it got cooked, and I got cooked. And this is not the day I would have wanted after 2 nice days, after 3 nice days. So I'm going to be back tomorrow. And by the way, NCNA, I completely missed this one. A lot of the traders who did well today traded this stock here. I completely missed it. It did a nice 100% move here from 6 to 12. I would have loved to trade this one. It's been a long time since I traded sub 10 cents. This one, a lot of people did well on this one. Shout out to Lucas, Momo Bro, I'm seeing, and a couple others who were able to lock in on this one. Also, Dynasty, Minty also got a little bit of NCNA. Shout out to those guys. Looks like Tim was red. Gus might have left early. Save the monster down a little bit. Mighty was red. Yeah, it was a tough day, man. But I still felt like I should have been green today, you know? This damn market right now, man, it's like the moment I bob and weave and I do a little, you know, it's coming with a two piece for me. So the challenge of being green, the challenge. Hey, nobody ever said it was gonna be easy, so I don't expect it to be, but we definitely got to keep improving here and doing recaps like this so that you know we know what we need to do and thinking back about it in terms of performance. You know, it's this thing where it seems like every time I like make a small mistake, it results into like a big loss. You know, going up to the 600 share, and like the last 3 days, I needed to size up early in pre market. I'm like, okay, today I'll size up a little earlier. Something looks good. I size up a little earlier, get slapped in the face, right? So at the end of the day, we got to be consistent with doing one thing. And so, even in that, we could have avoided the loss of 800. It could have been smaller. And I think maybe the best decision is to walk away once we do hit that line in the sand. All right. So hit that thumbs up. And by the way, I'll show you guys the chat. Shout out to Zay, right? Zay, once again, I see you. So we had a couple people who were red and a couple people who were green. Yeah, Minty went from red to green. Alice, way to go, getting it done. Nicely done, nicely done. Alice, nicely done, nicely done. David. So we had a couple people, lock it in. Here myself, down $1,700. Zay, though, holding it down for me here. And red here, red here, red here, small. It's so crazy that for the Save, this is not even like a scratch on the car, Man, the levels. Odin, way to keep it tight. You've been having some nice green days. Tim, anytime Tim is red, it's a tough day, man. Save, a little bit bigger to the red there. Minty, as mentioned, recovered. Lucas Lucas is the MVP of the chat room today. Held it down with a nice 7K day for the team here. Tempest saying he had a rough time today as well. Savage, way to go. Looks like a light speed order entry there. Man, I tell you, man, what a crazy day. Dash saying that he went from green to flat. Hey, any day that's a tight day where you survive some of the turbulence, it's good. But I still think we all should have been green today, Man, it can slip away quickly. So this puts us back here in the week. But we're going to be aiming for tomorrow. I forgot this half of the screen was on, but I think we should be good because we've mostly looked at the charts on this side. Jeez. Shout out to the day trade dash scanners, man. They do help us get it done here in pre-market. You guys can check out that link down below. And check out the link for the chat room. That way you can stay a part of the conversation even after the live stream, during the live stream, before the live stream, after the live stream. And if anyone is interested in the hyperscalping style, you can always check out Merciless Markets. Those links are down below. Hit that thumbs up. Stay safe, stay green. Remember that hold up. Day trading is risky. I got to fix my other screen here. Day trading is risky. Be careful. I do not invest for my subscribers. Be careful of fake accounts. There are people running ads with the team house content. We're trying to get them to take it down. Be careful out there, man. It's a tough world we're living in where people will go the distance. So stay safe. Be careful. Day trading is risky. I'll catch you guys tomorrow at 7:15 a.m.